Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. So do you want me to start the presentation right away, or should we
sure.
do?
Yeah, you can go right ahead.
All right, perfect. Just give me 1 second so I can share my screen. And if you can let me know once you can see the slide.
Yes, we can see it.
Awesome. All right. Hi, everyone. So first I'm going to ask, where is everyone from? Just so I get an idea. I see a couple of names here. Is everyone in Vancouver today? Different parts of the world?
I think mostly everyone here is in Vancouver.
Nice. Okay, awesome. Well, then you guys will know that we are actually located on the other coast, in the East Coast. We're located in Halifax, the capital of Nova Scotia. So with that, I'm just going to start with a little land acknowledgement. The flag that you see here is actually a Mi'kmaq flag, and it's hung like this vertically as opposed to horizontally like we see most flags. So Halifax, as I mentioned, is located in Mi'kmaqi, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. This territory is covered by the treaties of peace and friendship, which Mi'kmaq, Maliseet, and Passamaquoddy peoples first signed with the British Crown in 1726. The treaties did not deal with the surrender of lands and resources, but in fact recognized Mi'kmaq and Maliseet title and established the rules for what was to be an ongoing relationship between nations. So back to our city, commonly known as Halifax or Chibouctouc in Mi'kmaqi. So as I mentioned, it's the capital of Nova Scotia. It's sitting right by the Atlantic Ocean, and it has one of the largest natural harbors in the world. This makes it the hub of business in the Maritimes. Nova Scotia is actually Canada's educational capital. It has faculty and students that come from over 100 countries to work and study in both English and French. While being the biggest city east of Montreal, it also still keeps a strong community culture, and it has a huge arts community draw. Nova Scotia is also a great province to immigrate to if you're looking for that as well. So I'm going to talk about the buildings and what we house in these 3 buildings. So Nascar is actually spread in 3 different buildings in the downtown core of the city. So in the image that you have here on the bottom right corner, that can be considered our main building, or also the Fountain Campus. This is a 19th century market block. It actually has 19 buildings that are joined together. It has shops at street level and studios and classrooms above. So this is where programs such as jewelry, painting, photo, printmaking, textiles, fashion, and others have their studios. You can also find the library, which is the only art and design library in all of Atlantic Canada. We also have our student lounge or learning commons. This is where the student union has their office and where we have our main auditorium as well. This is also where you can find some of our main offices, the Office of Student Experience, where you will get your student ID, your bus pass, drop or add a course. Their finance office, so if you want to make any tuition payments, and the wonderful Office of Admissions, my office. This is also what we have, the AOMA, that is our own art gallery, and it actually has 5 different gallery spaces. Then we're gonna go to our second building. This is the Port Campus on the left here. This is on Halifax's waterfront. So the back of the building is actually looking at the water. You can see on the bottom right-hand picture on the slide there. So this is where many of our first year classes take place because of the big studios that we have here. We also have some very important shops. We have the wood shop, the metal shop. All of our sculptural department is housed here as well. We have all of our ceramic department, a foundry, a plastics lab, and a design studio as well. We also have exhibition space here. We have the Port Lodge Gallery and the 3D Space Gallery on the first floor. And finally, our third building, the Academy building. This is located in a Gothic Revival brick building. It was actually built in 1878, and it used to be a high school. The Academy campus is home to the Media Arts Division. It has special facilities, including edit suites, film studios, sound recording facilities, screening rooms, and animation studios. So all of our 3 campuses are located in the heart of downtown. It is important to note too that they're not right next to each other. They're within 10 minutes on foot of each other, so still very close. But because of this, we actually don't offer on-campus residence if that's something that you are interested on. However, we do partner with the other universities in the city to offer student residence. So if you apply to NASCAR, you get accepted, then you can apply to any of the schools that are close by to have a residence there. Some of them would be, if you're not familiar with Halifax, St. Mary's University, Dalhousie, or King's. And they're also very close to where NASCAR is. So then I'm going to talk about our programs, the most important part, and why everyone's here to learn about the wonderful programs that NASCAR has to offer. So we have 3 undergraduate degrees. Under these degrees, we have 10 majors, which you can combine with any of our 12 minors. We also have 3 master programs and 3 certificate programs. For this presentation, I'm just going to focus on the undergraduate programs that we offer. So you have them all listed here. So the first program that I'm going to talk about would be our Bachelor of Arts major in art history. This can be taken with a studio component if you're into art making and want to have your own art practice. And it gives the opportunity for the student to not only be involved in the critical analysis of art, but also the making of it. If you're not interested in making or practicing art, you can just not take the studio component, and it'll basically be just liberal art courses and art history courses. Then our Bachelor of Design, as you can see, it only has 1 major under it, the major in interdisciplinary design. So this program is actually, very unique in its field. So the interdisciplinary approach provides the student a wider knowledge of design practices while building a solid foundation of the design process. The Bachelor of Fine Arts, this is our largest program because we have 8 different majors that can be combined with any of our minors. So the majors are major in ceramics. In this major, you will study vessel, sculptural, and architectural ceramics. You're going to examine the relationship between design, materials, color, process, and techniques. Then the major in expanded media. This is our newest major, the latest that we've added. So this major offers students the opportunity to explore interdisciplinary practices. This is something that we're very big on in NASCAD, from our design program to really any major that you take. You will be encouraged to explore other practices as well, and expanded media is just that. So you're going to be working with conceptual and social issues in a range of media arts. This could include film, video, installation, performance, audio art, digital media, electronics, photo, if I didn't mention that, animation, basically anything that is through media and technology, you can explore under this major. Then the major in film is pretty self-explanatory. It just offers you an opportunity to explore the practice, history, theory, and analysis of film production. The major in fine arts, it basically includes 4 different practices, which is drawing, painting, printmaking, and sculpture. So this just gives the student a variety of approaches to art making, not to be confused with interdisciplinary arts, which a lot of students, when they don't know about the programs, are like, well, what's the difference? So in interdisciplinary art, you just have a little bit more freedom to explore different visual arts interests from an interdisciplinary approach. The main difference with fine arts is that in fine arts, you're going to be exploring the 4 practices that I mentioned, which is drawing, painting, printmaking, and sculpture. Whereas in interdisciplinary arts, you can just kind of explore anything that we have in the university. The major in jewelry design and metalsmithing, this offers a broadly based metals education. It includes the studies of jewelry, hollowware, product design, and metal business practice. Then our major in photography, this enables students to examine the technical, historical, and theoretical issues related to contemporary photo. You will also gain expertise in conventional, digital, and hybrid methods of image making. And finally, our major in textiles and fashion. This offers students the opportunity to explore the diverse field of textiles and fashion. This includes art, science, and technology. It also integrates 3 key areas of research, which is structure, surface, and form. And then our graduate and certificate programs, I'm just going to mention these. The Master of Design, it has the same approach as the undergraduate. It's an interdisciplinary program. Our Master of Fine Arts in Studio, in this one you can choose one practice, which would be any of the ones that we have as a major under the undergraduate programs. And then Master of Arts in Art Education. This is also a kind of new program, and you can take it in one of the 3 different streams that we have. One would be art for in the classroom, so teach art. The other one would be community practice, and the other one would be curatorial and museum practice. Then the foundation year. So the foundation year is the first year of any of our undergraduate degrees. The reason for this year is basically to give the student a broad base of knowledge in the visual arts before they go on to their specific program. So it's a prerequisite for further study if you haven't done it in another institution. And it introduces the student to critical thinking, the development of a visual vocabulary, and key concepts and practices in art, craft, and design. So some of the student opportunities that we offer at NASCAD will be an exchange program. So as part of the Association of Independent Colleges of Art and Design, NASCAD benefits from exchange partnerships with fellow institutions in Canada and the US. We also have independent exchange agreements with over 31 institutions around the world. We have the ANA, as I mentioned just a little while ago, which is access to gallery space to exhibit your work. We have different exhibitions every 2 weeks right now, I believe. We have our own fashion show. We actually have 2. We have a wearable art show and a fashion show just for our fashion students. This is a great opportunity for networking. We actually, obviously pre-COVID time, we have people even fly in from different cities like Toronto. And finally, visiting status at local universities. So if you're interested in taking a course that's not offered at NASCAD, you can do so at one of the universities that are in the city. And as I said, not very far away from NASCAD. So finally, I'm just going to highlight some alumni just to give you guys a sense of what you could do with a degree that you would obtain from NASCAD. If my slide decides to move forward. All right, so the first one I want to highlight is actually Tiagi, and yes, this is a snapshot of their Instagram. A semi-old one. I think there's more content there. It's just in case you want to find them on Instagram and follow their work. Actually came to NASCAR for textiles and fashion. He decided that he was not into the making of garments, but actually styling. So he went back to India, his country of origin, and he started styling Bollywood celebrities. He has also worked for major brands like Louis Vuitton in India or Vogue as well. Then this brand, this is actually made by 2 sisters, Chloe and Paris. One studied fashion and textiles, and the other one took jewelry. They have actually been in Forbes 30 under 30 in 2017. So after graduated, they combined forces, they created this brand, and they create both garments and jewelry pieces. Then we have Jillian Mccloud. She graduated in 2003 with a Bachelor of Design. You can imagine a lot of design is done in the computer, but she actually really liked handmade type. So she has worked for O Magazine, Elle, and the New York Times. She was actually the deputy art director of Martha Stewart. And she's currently a designer for O Magazine, and she has done a lot of the handwriting that you will see there. And finally, Steve Mcnevin. Steve has a Bachelor of Fine Arts and also a Bachelor of Arts. He went on to become a comic book artist after NASCAR. So some of the work that you've seen has been in Marvel Knights 4, Ultimate Secret, and New Avengers. So if you're into this, you will be very excited to hear that he was a pencil artist for these different shows. And finally, how to apply to NASCAR. Hopefully at this point, you're all excited. You heard about a program that you like and want to pursue at our university. It's pretty straightforward. You would do everything online now through our website, my.nascar.ca. You would create a profile on our website, and then in that profile, you would start an application. And in that application, you're going to upload all of your documents. So here you have a list, a pretty short list, thankfully, just your transcripts and admissions essay, portfolio and sketchbook, and application fee. So a little bit more information about the portfolio. As you can imagine, this is the most stressful part of the application and where we get the most amount of questions and doubts and insecurities and anxiety. So the list that you have here, it's just a list of examples. It really goes way beyond this. This is just to say that basically anything that's a creative outlet can create a piece that you can submit for your portfolio. So here are some examples of things we take. So it could be some product design, it can be poetry, it can be work that you've done with plants, plastics, it can be photo, both digital or analog, it could be film as well, if that's what you're into. I could go on forever. So basically whatever you're into for art making or for a creative outlet, and if you're creating art, that can be a portfolio submission. So anyway, that's it for my presentation about NASCAR. I want to turn it to you guys to see if you have any questions about our school or programs or how to apply.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Maria.
Thank you, Hannah.
I'll start us off. I see there is a lot of things that you accept in a portfolio. Is there anything that you don't want to see in a portfolio?
We don't really say there's nothing we don't want to see. There are things that we encourage more. So for example, you can imagine there's a lot of high school students that do a lot of observational drawing, like drawing your hands, your eyes, things like that. And that's fine, but we want to see something that's more towards conceptual art. I mean, there's some amazing observational drawings out there, or paintings too. But maybe if you can do, a different twist to it or a different approach to it. We've seen students, just to give you an example, create their own paintings, like the actual paint with like coffee or with like different spices, and they go and mix that and create the colors, and they use that to create a painting. So that, for example, included with observational drawing would be interesting to watch. So just thinking outside of the box, it's something that we would encourage.
Great. And could you tell me about what your most popular major programs are?
It's popular. We don't want to put shadow on any of them, but I would say photo is very popular. Fine arts as well, just because it gives students the opportunity to work in different practices. And as I mentioned earlier in the presentation, that's something that we really encourage at NASCAR. We like interdisciplinary work. Not to say that if you're very focused on one practice, you're not going to be successful. That's completely fine too. But it is encouraged to work on different things. But anyway, yeah, photo is very popular. Film as well. We have a lot of students that are interested in filmmaking or animation, and we only have animation at a minor level right now. So a lot of students go and have the major in photo, in film, and combine it with the animation minor.
Great. And could you tell us about if there are any sort of professional development or career opportunities?
We don't have like a specific co-op program, for example, or placements like that. And they vary also from program to program and semester to semester. I do know, for example, the Bachelor of Design, when students are on their last semester, the faculty tries to pair them with a real life project. So they get that work experience under their belt and they start those connections. So there's a lot of that that happens at NASCAR at the different programs that we have.
Great. And I've got another question here. Do you offer any support, like what kind of support do you offer for first year students or international students?
Well, support can look like many different things. We do have an accessibility resource coordinator. So if you have any specific need, you would talk to him. His name is Bill Travis, and he would arrange for the student to have the resources that they need to be successful, whatever that may look like. We also have Christina, who's the manager of financial aid. So if you're looking for scholarships or just guidance to apply to your loans, she's also there to assist the students. So those are just some examples. We have a writing center. If you struggle with writing, we also have peer mentors if you're looking to take care of your mental health. We also have a lot of resources, like physical resources, like equipment for students to work with. I don't want to overextend myself, but there's a lot of different things. It just depends on what the student's looking for.
Great. And could you tell me about the average class size?
Yeah, so art schools typically have actually smaller class sizes. Our average class size would be 13 students. That's just, an average that we've had, but it can go from, for example, a lecture class where, that would be held at an auditorium and you're looking at like 50, which is still not very big compared to other universities and other programs. Or you can have a very small class of even like 5 other students. But yeah, in average, you're looking at smaller class sizes, which if that's what you're looking for, definitely Nascar is the place for you. It does have a lot of advantages.
Great. Thank you so much, Maria, for your presentation. We really appreciate you spending time with us this evening.
Thank you, Hannah, for having me. And thank you everyone also for coming today.
Great.